Hey, what's going on? So one of the questions I get all the time, and this is a big worry for a lot of my people, and I bet it might be for you, is do I need to be 100% on my diet all the time? And if I'm not, have I just lost everything? And this is a common worry. I get it. It's a number one thing, especially when people start to really get into their nutrition. They kind of get on this mode of like, okay, I've made a change, and now I need to keep up with this change, or else I'm just gonna lose it all. Okay, we don't want that. And in working with hundreds of people now in their nutrition successfully here at Relentless, I've been able to kind of come up with a good little way of looking at it that I think might be something you haven't really heard before, and is gonna kind of alleviate some of those concerns about, do I need to be 100% on my diet all the time? So quick answer, no. No, you don't need to be 100% all the time. And I don't think the vast majority of people are going to be able to. If you are that person that can just like be a robot and get on it 100% of the time for months and months and months and years and years and years, chances are you're not watching this video. But if you're that person, bully for you, keep doing what you're doing. It's awesome. So everybody else though, I want you to think about your nutrition plan kind of like a bank account, right? So call it a health bank account. And basically what's going to happen is when you eat the right food, whatever that may be, whatever your nutrition plan is, I'm not going to get into the specifics of that today, but let's assume you have a diet plan, nutrition plan that you want to go on that is going to, if done properly, will get you headed in the right direction, right? Will get you your goal. So if you're going to do that, then think of it like a bank account, right? Eat the right foods, eat the right thing for that time, and you've made a deposit in your bank account. That's awesome. Goes up a little bit. Miss a meal, don't eat the right foods, make a poor decision, it's a debit, right? So in order for you to achieve success, you need to have a certain number in that bank account. Just like for retirement, it needs to be a certain number. And so in theory, you need to keep giving more positives than you give negatives. The issue is, and here's where, just like in the real world, the issue is that for most people, you can only get so much good out of a positive. In other words, you can only eat so good a vegetable. You can only eat so good protein. You can only, every little positive you put in there only raises up this much. This is like a paycheck. You know you're gonna make a certain amount of money in a paycheck, it's gonna go up. Therefore there's only so many credit you're gonna get for each deposit you make, because you kind of have an idea of how good that is. You can debit a whole bunch. You know, like you may have a paycheck that's whatever, $500, and you know that every time you make that paycheck deposit, it's gonna be $500. Well, you can turn around and you can spend $10,000. You can blow it up. You can empty out your bank account in one go. It's very hard to go from zero to retirement money in one go, but it's pretty easy to go from zero to broke in one go. But most people aren't going to do that. But it's the same thing with food. So there's a tendency for your nutrition to make a much bigger drop when you do make a mistake on it, quote unquote, or you don't do what you should do, than your pluses are going to be. So that means you need to have a lot more pluses to add up for everything you take out. But on the other hand, that does mean that if you get a bunch of pluses out and you get like one negative, it's not a big deal, because you've done all the work to set yourself up. You've done all the right things, so you can balance that out. So as long as you're generally doing the right things, you can have the occasional negatives. You can even have the occasional big negative. I'm not necessarily advocating that, but you can have it, and you'll be fine. So what I've found for a good ratio, the guys at Precision Nutrition that do a great job with this, they came up with this kind of number, and it does really work pretty well, is that if you want to make a slow change in your body, or make a slow change in your performance, or stay the same, it's going to be about 80% compliance. And that's what we work with clients here at Relentless, is staying on about 80% compliance-wise. And if you want to make a faster change, you know, you're motivated, you really want to make a change, make a big adjustment, big change, it's more like 90, going 90%. So that means hitting 90% of your target meals. So that means that, like, say on a 3 meals a day plan, which isn't necessarily what I'm recommending, but 3 meals a day, 7 days a week, that means that basically you've got two that you can either eat the wrong foods, too much of them or whatever, or you can skip them, miss a meal. That'd be your 90%, right? 80%, all right, well, you got four. So that's going to be kind of your litmus test here of kind of what you need to do to kind of keep on track and stuff like that. But really look at that like a credit debit system. So that'll kind of alleviate some of that stress of like, oh, I screwed it up, I've ruined it. Because if you went and made a bad decision financially with your bank account, you overspent, you spent more money. It was just the holiday season, so Christmas shopping. You spent more money Christmas shopping than you wanted to. Your response wouldn't be like, well, shoot, I guess I'm just gonna go like drain the rest of my bank account. It's not what you would do. Same thing nutrition wise. So just because you make one mistake or you kind of have one meal that doesn't go the way it should, doesn't mean that you should just throw it all away. And that's, if you look at it that way, it's going to be a lot easier to get back on the horse, start saving up, start doing the right thing, start building that account back up again. If you want some help with a kind of a basic plan on that, then I'm happy to give you kind of our relentless cheat sheet guide for nutrition, and just drop a note below, drop a comment below, and I'm happy to send that over to you.